Hi, everybody, and welcome to Book Time. I'm here with my bestie, Wendy.
It's my first time on your channel.
I know. Welcome. And it's my channel. First time she's here, but this is her backdrop for her YouTube channel. I'm just stealing it.
This is my bookshelf.
This is her bookshelf. It's all good. Today, we're talking about our icks in books, the things that we just, deal breakers, we come across them and we're like, ew, it's gross, and we don't love it. Yeah. So today, I'm going to start out with mine. I'm going to flip mine around because some of ours at the beginning were similar, and hers are on her channel. So if you want to know her book icks, please go over to her channel. I will link it below, and you can know all of the things that she did not like that are deal breakers in books for her. So for me, the first thing would be long chapters. I hate books with long chapters. I literally will just not read it.
Yeah.
Like if you make it too long, or maybe you don't make it. I also hate when they don't have a point of view for each character, because I feel like you want to be inside the head of each character. So that would be
something. If you don't like long chapters, Jennifer Lynn Barnes, all of her chapters are short.
They're so good.
Oh, I love it.
Very short.
It's so satisfying.
It is. Also, Lucy Foley and Ruth Ware, is she a short chapter?
I can't remember.
Lucy Foley also does point of views, and her chapters are really short. So I like her a lot. Okay, the next one for me would be clingy parents in books. Like if the parent is overly involved in their life, trying to control them at every point, and all their decisions they have to filter through what would my parent think? That annoys me.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just bothers me.
I don't know if I've even read a book like that. You would have to give me an example.
If you can think of one. There was a book, I think it was actually maybe in Happy Place, where the parents are constantly trying to make
kind of like the in-laws that are always involved.
In Happy Place, they're trying to make her, she wants to do her own thing, and her parents put a lot of pressure on her to do kind of what they want her to do. And when she's changing her mind, they're clingy, they're trying to control her. So maybe not clingy parents, maybe also controlling parents kind of bothers me in books. You said this too physical. If the love story is just purely physical, it kind of annoys me. If there's no romance or slow burn or love at all, it's just I want your body. I feel like that's just really unrealistic. Yeah. If you have that feeling, you're probably, you need Jesus. So just not too much physical. I would say I've read books before where I feel like their entire relationship is just that the entire time.
I just like there to be a stronger foundation.
Yeah, I like there to be romance. Another one is lack of description of the love interest. Sometimes I feel like I get in these books where the main character is overly described, but their love interest isn't. And that, I actually read a book like that recently, Fish Out of Water by Katie Ruggles. And her whole character was very described, but her love interest, you didn't know much about him. You didn't have a lot of dialogue, and you weren't invested in the love story.
So you can't get attached.
Yeah, you were just ew, he's boring. Stop it. I would say also awkward or cringy dialogue. Have you had this in books where you're just you're the blood and breath of my life? Or just something that's just cringy, and you're they would never say that.
Like Twilight?
Yes, Twilight. Everything in
but
Twilight.
I loved those. But I was
Twilight.
In high school.
We loved Twilight, but
I don't know if I would love it now if I had never seen it.
Yeah,
but I still love it because it's sentimental.
Sometimes there's just cringy dialogue. Maybe it's overly romantic, or maybe
Crave.
It's I just
Crave. Oh my goodness. If you have read that and you like it, I'm sorry.
We just felt like it was a little bit
It is so
much.
cringy.
It is so cringy. It's just awkward. So I would say cringy dialogue is probably something that I don't love at all. Wasting food. Tom would love this.
Why is this your book ick? This isn't you.
I hate
this is Tom's book ick.
Okay,
my husband, by the way.
I actually don't try to waste food, but if I watch a movie, or if I read a book where they're having a nice dinner and then a fight erupts and then they never get back to their dinner, I'm who ate the steak? I'm so confused.
Do you know, actually, on most TV shows, they all pretend to eat.
It's so upsetting to me.
And they just literally create food. Like The Bachelor, I heard none of them ever eat the food on their dates.
Are you serious? Yeah. I would totally eat that. I just hate when people don't eat their food on movies, shows, books. Eat your food. and I have wasted food before.
Yes, she has.
I have.
And also, she doesn't like leftovers.
I don't. But if it's a nice meal that's fresh in front of you, it bothers me.
Hot calling kettle black.
I don't know. It just bothers me. I know I'm bad. Most of my leftovers are gross. They're like soup or something. Okay, gaslighting. I would say that's probably one that just really gets me whenever it's in a book and you just know it's happening and it continually happens all the time. And they're like, oh, it's all your fault or you're the problem. Or they turn everything around to be that person's fault. It just bothers me. And it's just a trigger for me. I hate it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a book that I read with gaslighting, but nothing's coming to mind at the moment. Too many sports references or just sports in general. I know people love sports romances, but like if it's just a lot about sports, like I remember I read this one book where they talk about the hockey team and like the scoring the entire time, and I'm like, I don't really care. Just kiss.
Yeah, I haven't read a lot of sports romance, so I don't know if I would like it right now, but I do know that I don't love sports in general.
Yeah.
So I just don't think that I would love
too many
reading about
sports. Unbalanced love would be another one that triggers me. I hate it when like one character is more interested than the other character, and you can clearly see that, and you know where it's trending, and like they just don't get it. It just bothers me. I just don't like that.
Yeah.
In books. You said weak guys. Overly emotional guys bother me. Like if he cries a lot or he's like sitting down weeping to an opera, like if that was the love interest, I could not read that book. Although my husband loves opera and he listens to it all the time.
Does he sit down and weep?
Maybe. I don't know. Isn't that gross? No, he doesn't weep. He just like loves opera. But I just can't
see Tyler crying.
I know.
Has he ever cried?
Like, he has cried at monumental moments, like the birth of our child, maybe.
My husband didn't even cry then.
He's not very, I mean, they're just, we just don't like emotional men.
I don't even know if he cried at our wedding.
I feel
like maybe he teared up a
little.
little.
Didn't either. Should we be offended?
Right.
They don't insta-love us, whatever. It's annoying.
This is real life.
This is real life.
By the way, people.
We
love reading about unrealistic love, but this is not what I would want in real life. Like, I wouldn't want in real life for guys to be like if I'm being honest, dark.
If Tyler came up and wrote me like a sonnet and he was like weeping while doing it, I'd be like, ugh. Like, I just don't think I would like it.
I wouldn't go for a guy with wings in real life.
No, probably
but
not.
I sure do love to read about it.
But we really do love Rise, like Ryzan, whatever.
Or if there was a dragon, I would run the opposite way.
I know, but if the dragon talks telepathically to you,
that's cool.
We're about it. We have very unrealistic expectations. Space travel. I don't care about space.
You might hate Red Rising then.
I know.
That's what it's about. People said it's like Hunger Games in space.
It just depends on what it is.
We're going to see if she likes Red Rising.
I'll try it. I have it. Actually, if you don't know this, it is free in your Audible Plus catalog. So go and get Red Rising. It's free right now. Tyler loves, what's it called? Interstellar. It's his favorite movie. Tyler's my husband.
I love that movie too.
I love it too, but at some point I'm like, get out of space. It's so annoying.
I don't mind space. What I don't like is aliens.
Oh my gosh, that's next. So, okay.
I set her up for that one.
Set me up for alien romance. I do not love it. Or aliens in general. Like, just aliens bother me. I don't know. There's a lot of people who love, there's a whole genre.
I liked E.T.
Yeah.
But I don't want it to be like constant, like alien politics, alien
philosophy,
jargon, alien
just regimes, like
physicalness, like I don't know.
There are a lot of people who love an entire genre of like alien romance.
Which, you know, good if you love that.
I mean, that might be something you love, and if you do, go for it. That's not your ick, so that's fine. Using too much jargon. A great example of this would be Yellowface. I loved the book. I did 3-star it, but there was a lot of publishing jargon in it. If there's a lot of science jargon, lawyer jargon, anything that's like too much language about a profession, I get kind of lost. Yeah. And I'm just bored. Yeah. So I would say that that's something I don't love. World building.
She is like a fantasy fraud.
Okay.
Because anytime there's world building, she hates it, but that's all fantasy
world building, if there's too much of it, I don't like it. And if there's too little of it, I don't like it. So like we read an arc recently
that there was
fantasy. Like Dawn of Hearts, we read that arc and it's like too little world building.
That was YA.
Which was YA.
Yeah.
Maybe I just hate YA. I don't know. But A Court of Thorns and Roses, I struggled to get through book 1 because of the world building. And I was like, oh, when is it going to end?
Yeah.
Okay, so falls in love with a parent. I hate I have actually read a book one time where the girl is like in love with the guy, but then she ends up falling in love with his dad, or he really falls in love with
that's like really cringy.
His girlfriend's mother or something. It's cringy, but it's happened in books, and that's like a main ick of mine. I hate it. Shallow friends, I would say one of my things that I don't like, and I read a book recently with this, is if like the main character has depth, but their friends are shallow. Yeah. And so any advice they get from their friends, I'm like, throw that in the trash. Because
that's actually why I didn't love Part of Your World.
Oh boy, that's on my TBR for February.
She's currently reading that, and that's the only reason that I didn't love that book. I felt that her friend was so shallow. But what's interesting is in the second book, it's about her friend, and she's not like that at all.
Interesting.
So it's almost like a different character.
Intrigue. Sometimes we just misjudge them, I guess. I don't know. Okay, another thing is continual bad things happening to one person, like constantly, like unlimited bad circumstances from the get-go, like.
And it gets depressing.
It does. It gets depressing. Like so many bad things happening one after another. Like give them a break.
Yeah.
We need time to breathe.
You are writing this book. You can make them have a break.
Please give us a break. We can't handle it all.
Unless it's a true story, and then I get it.
Yeah. Unless it's a true story, and then I'm really sorry about your life.
Yeah.
Okay. So Friends. Matthew Perry's biography or memoir was like this. It was like the entire thing was just one bad thing after another. And at the end of it, it ruined Friends for me. Please don't read it if you love Friends. It ruined Fools Rush In for me. Please don't if you love that movie. It's too many bad things at one time. Yeah. It's continual. I know it's his life and I'm really sorry, but it was just a lot. One night stands, I would say, is also a big trigger for me. I don't like them. I feel like there are some that are okay if it's like tastefully done and they've known each other for a while, but I just feel like it's just never a good idea. And it's not a lifestyle choice that I would personally choose.
That's my biggest one.
I'm like, meh. And then also it's just very risky. I don't know why people do it. Insta love. I don't love this either. Where people are just like immediately... We would like to think that if your eyes meet across the room that you like instantly love someone, but it's just not realistic. Like
now,
I
do think that you
instant
can be
attraction,
infatuated with someone.
Yeah, instant attraction.
But it's more attraction. It's not like
Twilight taught us that.
Because I will say, like my husband, we were instantly attracted,
instantly attracted,
and we were both drawn to each other. But I wouldn't say like,
well, there are people.
Realistic most of the time.
Yeah, in books of like, I love you from the first moment I saw you. You didn't though. I don't know. That just bothers me.
And I also think love is more of like a choice every day. I don't think it's a feeling.
You have to like redefine what you think love is, because if you look at someone and you just think that you love them, like you don't know everything about them. So insta love bothers me. So I would say that's a really long ick list. It's really long. But anyway, if you would like to learn more about her icks, and then you can watch both of ours, and then you can comment below, what are your icks? What are some deal breakers in books for you? We want to know, and we want to hear all about it. So we'll see you next time.
Bye. Bye-bye.